Kia ora, haere mai. Hello, welcome to the sunny Bay of Islands in the far north of New Zealand's North Island. My name is Greg Bray and I feel privileged and truly proud to be operating the WTM Bay of Islands Centre and be part of this extraordinary and dedicated team. On my journey, I've spent a large chunk of my working life bouncing between adventure tourism and conservation, and on the way attaining a Bachelor of Science degree. So in May 2019, discovered the WTM while scrolling through Facebook, and I downloaded the book Freedom onto my phone. I couldn't believe what I was reading. Every page, wow moment, and although not a fast reader, ploughed through it in 5 days as I couldn't put it down and read morning and night. It was exposing, it was confronting, but I could feel my soul rising from the ashes through Jeremy Griffith's pure and transparent clarity written on every page. So having studied science and being naturally skeptic, as you learn to be really when surrounded by this world of many scoundrels, charlatans and pseudoscientists, I treaded carefully and tried to poke some holes in the science and theory, but alas, to no avail. I also have indulged in a lot of what the WTM website has to offer, including the awesome essay series and some inspirational affirmations by wonderful people from all over the world and from all walks of life. Since I reckon about the age of 12, I have more and more frequently queried our existence and human nature. Therefore I've read many books on philosophy, spirituality, science and all number of self-help bestsellers to alleviate my curiosity and hopefully answer some of those big questions. Sure, there's some interesting ideas and theories out there, but nothing to truly get excited for the human race about, or to put that spring in your step for any real length of time. Yeah, so I needed something earthy to ground me, but all science has done really is lump us in with the rest of the animals and explain our crazy behaviour through Charles Darwin's theory of natural selection. For me, the idea that instinctive survival of the fittest, genetic adaptations over generations to compete and survive and to ultimately reproduce our DNA, being responsible for our human nature, didn't really sit well. Now I get that we have primal instinctive ape ancestry, but how can our DNA be responsible for our race's at times sickening, brutal, twisted and horrific behaviour? So from being an outgoing and fun young person with only Darwinism to explain me and the rest of this manic humanity, I became increasingly disheartened and introspective from my late teens onwards, and then started reluctantly slide down into the depressing depths of the abyss we call adulthood. So the only reason I've not dug myself a hole and buried myself in it is because I've never given up hope that someday, somehow, somewhere, someone might discover a deeper understanding and real purpose for our potentially magnificent species. So this is where Jeremy Griffith's explanation of the human condition fits in, because it doesn't matter what you believe in, whether it be religion, spirituality, atheism or a flat earth, we still needed a biological explanation and understanding of these vessels we wander about in, which are the latest model of over some 4 billion years of evolution since life began on this planet. This concept provides the vital insight into our conscious thinking mind, which is by far the most remarkable feat in biological engineering, but the least understood. Because although science has been responsible for incredible achievements and understanding behind the mechanisms of the mind, there's no faculty in science that can truly explain our are we good or are we evil, conflicted moral conscience and our unique self-awareness or sense of self. Like I said earlier, science has tried to blame humans' evil side on our aggressive, must-reproduce ancient primal instincts. But how can you then explain that pure innocence of a newborn child which only becomes more and more corrupted and aggressive with every day spent on these hellish environments we call society? Or how about that incredibly caring, sharing, giving and loving, cooperative nature we also possess, and at times impulsively, without a thought, saving the life of a complete stranger, which would have no benefit and in actual fact would risk their own life and therefore their chance to reproduce their genetics or DNA. So the best thing about Jeremy's information is that from this pure, clean and simple explanation, all our behavioural traits or nature from birth through to death and every event throughout human history can be explained, justified and understood. There's nothing else on earth like it. Finally we can tell the children why there's been so much overwhelming suffering on this earth, which has been a necessary evil through this age-old battle to conquer our conscious mind. Furthermore, with this knowledge, children can now completely sidestep and totally avoid the psychological upset, which is the sheer disappointment of adulthood. Not saying never have been religious, but I love this idea that we have an opportunity to really help and give our species an honest chance to finally evolve into something truly wonderful and begin to transform this earth back into the Garden of Eden type state through simply communicating this understanding to others. So yeah, the changes in me have been profound. It's like the weight of the world has been lifted off my shoulders. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. I've never felt so excited in my life as I have searched high and low for this kind of understanding. The fact we can even broach this subject is extraordinary, as has been top of the taboo list for eons. I've talked to many others about it, and you soon see their eyes widen and the old light switch turn on. Through this understanding, I can see the forest for the trees, really, and realise we're not some unfortunate accident, or worse still, a horrible mistake. I can see that this is the next step in human evolution, and now gives me and my life real purpose and an excitement to see what we're truly capable of. It provides me with the understanding that we are fundamentally good and not bad. It has granted me empathy and clarity into the overwhelming behaviour of our race. Anger, hate, greed, rape, murder, child abuse, animal neglect, war, genocide. These despicable acts, you can hear about them every day, and they will drive me crazy with anger, frustration and despair. And so although these acts are not at all acceptable, it becomes understandable through comprehending humanity's unavoidable extreme psychological upset. Instead of getting angry and frustrated with people, I can now feel for and also relate to the enduring pain and suffering, whether they even realise it or not. This is a form of enlightenment and empowers you like nothing I've ever read before. Every day people are seeking and searching for hope. Well, this is it. You'll eventually free the world. We could eventually free the world from suffering, and that has become my freedom. This will rid everyone of the psychological and emotional burdens or ill feelings held onto, knowingly or not. All forms of anger, frustration, confusion, shame, guilt, anxiety, depression. The best thing is it's not some think positive, be positive or project positive idealism. This insight is just a holistic understanding. We can just naturally heal. No more slapping the game face on. No more continual posturing for any form of win, gratitude or reinforcement. This concept just explains basically and honestly the understanding that you are inherently good and not bad, and allows you to continue to just be you, but a liberated you. The human race is obviously and seriously in dire straits. However, through Jeremy Griffith's phenomenal insight, you will discover that we're in such a predicament, why we're in such a predicament, and how simple the answer is to save our race from what could well be a fate worse than death. It'll be the most exciting time in human history as we, metaphorically speaking, end our march through hell for the most heavenly cause. All of us and all that have gone before us are the greatest heroes for enduring this battle of true horror and suffering which was necessary in this incredible story of humanity to find ourselves. With this wonderful discovery of our true nature, we can finally end this brutal chapter and begin the most exciting episode in human history. One of liberation, healing, fun, and the rebuilding of our twisted foundations. So yeah, feel free to get in touch with any of the WTM members, as they are truly wonderful people. Never in my life have I encountered such open and caring individuals who stem from every type of background in life. So this is why I decided to open the WTM Bay of Islands Centre. I have been so inspired by the purity of thought and sacrifice Jeremy Griffith and the WTM members have shown that I felt what could be more fulfilling in life than sharing this information with others, with the potential of liberating them from any pain and suffering caused by the human condition. So thank you for listening, and unless you believe we're still in the matrix, I sincerely hope you investigate the WTM website. In particular, the interview, that's with the British celebrity Craig Conway, and also videos 1 to 4 and 14, and then dive into Jeremy's book Freedom, which you can download for free. It will undoubtedly be the best decision you ever make, and I'll look forward to meeting you to discuss or celebrate the true holy grail of humanity. Farewell and see you later.